The world as we know it may or may not be coming to an end soon. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Still rocking out, huh?
Yeah. It's a good song.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the 37th episode of Chimi.
Welcome back, Superstar. Everybody. How you doing? Hope you're having a good week so far on this lovely, well, now Tuesday.
Yes.
Now Tuesday.
Now Tuesday.
Yes.
So it's also E3 week. So
E3.
Lots of fun news, fun stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, the people are losing their minds, probably.
Who's that?
Who's there?
Well, apparently someone's at the door. Brian, why don't you get that? I'm stuck behind the desk.
Okay, fair enough.
Apparently someone decided right when we record to come and knock on the door. Who is it?
Well, hello!
It's Professor Elliot!
Hey!
How you doing, man?
Thought I'd join you guys today.
Oh, my
Awesome.
God.
Well, pop a squat. Have a seat.
Yes, come on in, sir.
I'm glad we have a few extra beers.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. I was hoping for that.
We just got saying that.
Yes, we literally stepped into the... Did you guys have this choreographed?
What?
How dare you, sir?
You know
How
what?
dare you?
You shenaniganizers, all right?
Well,
I'm surprised, though. I'm actually really surprised.
Welcome to the show again, Professor.
Good to see you.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing all right.
Get on up in here, my friend.
Getting up in there, yeah.
Yes.
There we go. Now you can hear me. Yeah.
Yes.
So for those of you who've been living under a rock the last year, Professor Elliot has a wonderful YouTube channel. Actually, you have a couple of shows, not just the one show now.
That's true. If you search for Professor Elliot on YouTube, you will find my videos.
He is actually a YouTube whore now. He's all over the place.
They are wonderful videos, though. Definitely go ahead and subscribe, and you're on YouTube, and honestly, that is really good stuff, though. The videos that you actually produce, and your girlfriend that goes ahead and actually
she's
does
been doing the filming and the logo work and the design work there. It's
yeah, it's good stuff, dude. So, dude, go find him. Guys, go find him.
Since you're here, let me offer you a beer.
Excellent. What do we got here?
Holy shit.
Hell or High Watermelon.
The beer of the week.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a summer special release. It's
we got Lady Liberty on the front, kind of relaxing.
Just chilling on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
The crown laying over the top of the bridge. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, it's good festive art.
Everyone needs a day like that. Even Lady Liberty.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, this brews from...
if she's Lady Liberty, she certainly is at liberty to do that.
Indeed. So pop that cherry, Bryant.
Oh my.
21st Amendment Brewery. This one we're going to try out for you. A moment of silence, everybody.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Beery.
That is delicious.
Oh, there is watermelon to it.
Yeah, the watermelon flavors.
Just a hint.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like legit watermelon. It's not like
it's
like candy watermelon or something like that. That's like I'm anticipating this. Oh dear Lord, why did they do that?
Yeah, I was thinking like Jolly Rancher's going to hit me in the face.
Exactly, but this is nice.
Yeah, this is really good.
It's like refreshing. Well, as cold as it is right now.
Oh yeah, I had this sucker all the way to the back of the box.
Ah, yes.
Chill it up nice and good.
Certainly a summer release.
Yes, absolutely. So, we were just talking about how it's E3 weekend, or E3 week, and there's all sorts of cool games and stuff coming out. And the one that we're really going to talk about a little bit is Fallout.
Right.
Fallout
Did you
4.
see that trailer and that gameplay?
Yes.
Well, not gameplay necessarily.
No, we actually did. We did watch a little gameplay just before we hit record. It looks phenomenal.
Dude, I love that they... Well, of course they have to go ahead and have the stop motion go ahead and hit the correct spots with the most damage and shit.
The VATS.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So, from what the little I caught of it, you can choose what character you're playing, right? And based on how you customize the two initial characters, that baby changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that baby doesn't show up later.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm like,
yes.
So
no, I completely agree with you.
It's a custom baby, but really, the baby's only there for 2 minutes, and then it's irrelevant for the rest of the game because it's just you on your own. It seemed like that's neat, but It seems like an odd functionality to have for a character that won't exist for very long.
They got it on, man. They got it on.
That was the whole point. It's just to show, your character had sex.
Yes.
It happened.
It's evidence that he's not a virgin.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, she's a cheating tramp. But we don't have no evidence of that.
It was adopted.
There's no evidence behind it.
Now, there's also the fact that they didn't really release a lot of information about things here and there. So it could be like something that's hidden. Maybe the baby's like frozen in time as well. You find like a
maybe
Captain America icicle.
I mean, he was alive or came out of the capsule, and it was 200 years. So
yeah. So who knows? Maybe the baby.
The baby chambers where they had taken all of the hundreds of babies from the survivors and frozen them in a different vault. It gets really dark.
Yeah.
Really dark, really quick.
There's no lighting.
There's no light in that
It's really dark in that vault.
It's really dark in that vault.
I'd actually like it if awesome. I have my Chimi shades back.
Sorry.
I'd actually really like it if the baby like lived through the wasteland, like oh, that was terrible, the radiation. I had to grow to be so strong. I became the new super soldier and then froze myself in time to find you. You abandoned me.
And he has his own like community now, and it's like
it's all super soldier irradiated people.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And it's like this whole area, you got to go ahead and catch your own meals. It's very like primitive, but they're trying to get back to where it was. But there's still robotics, and the crafting looks crazy.
It does. Oh yeah, you get to build an entire
much more,
way more crazy.
You don't just get to like build a character. You don't just get to build a house. You build a whole damn community.
Yeah.
That looks so cool.
That is nuts.
It takes the whole like free world, like open world gaming to a new level with Fallout. Like
exactly.
That's something we've been looking for. That's something you need in gaming.
They just keep one-upping themselves on the concept of you can do whatever you want in this game. Like they keep on going. One of these days, you're going to be living in this game. Like, you're like, well, I got to get up to farm.
This is my life now.
They're not going to
bought this game, and now I'm stuck here.
They're not going to ship me any food if I don't farm in Fallout.
Yeah, you got to build your own plumbing. You got to go and build your own house. You got to go get a wife, just like Fable and all that stuff.
Fuck. Now I got to pay taxes in Fallout.
Hopefully you're lucky. And
of course they still go by video game timelines, so you have to be on the game 24/7.
Jesus
Christ. That way you can actually make it. Otherwise, you leave for 5 hours and 3 weeks have gone by.
My God.
And all of your plants are dead, and you're just totally screwed. Everyone thinks you've abandoned them. And,
your son is fully grown.
This isn't real time. This is video game timeline.
Yeah.
So, dude, that'd be so nuts.
You come back, your child is like got a full beard and like going off to like
hello, daddy. I need to go farm. I need to go hunt the wildebeests.
Giant death claw like over his shoulder, like I have killed this. It is our meat.
Yes, it is dinner for tonight.
Well, that's the thing. You have to you pause the game when you say that you're going to go out to buy something or you're going to go out to go hunting.
Yeah,
and then it's that same kind of effect of Daddy's going to go out and get cigarettes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
And then, several years later, you show back up in the game.
Where were you, father?
You just had a horrible childhood. I was the man when you were gone, Dad.
Except for all the stepdads. Mom found a lot of stepdads to replace you with.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes 4 stepdads.
I now have 23 brothers and sisters.
And sisters.
There were a few nights that Mom had a few stepdads at once.
A few.
Yes.
Well, it's 200 years in the future after the Fallout and everything. What year is this? This is like 21...
They kind of do like their own fictional timeline.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it's like 2100XX.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
it's like...
So
there isn't really...
You gotta figure at that point, polygamy is a cool thing at that point.
Everything's
falling apart, Might as well take what you can get.
Yeah, maybe it's like, okay, so we've got an open relationship. It's cool. So, honey, we're running a little bit low on funds. Do you think you can make a few extra caps by, the rich guy down the street kind of hit one for the team? Right, thank you, honey. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's very the Book of Eli right there.
A little bit,
yeah.
I haven't seen that forever. That movie's so dark.
It is kind of dark, but all in all, I liked Denzel going ahead and kicking ass.
I watched
with a
that
sword.
movie. The day I watched that movie, the next movie I watched Children of Men.
Oh, really?
Same weekend. That was a dark post-apocalyptic movie weekend, I guess.
Wow.
Did you go out?
Fair enough. There was a topic that weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you go out and stockpile on on food and water and gasoline afterwards?
It's like, okay, time to start supplies for survival gear.
Walking down the street, you find any piece of wood or metal. It's like, all right, that's going in the storage shed.
That's keeping with me.
Yeah,
that's so crazy. Like the things that you would have in that storage shed, you'd have like scythes, like hose, and stuff for farming and shit.
Gear is not astounding yet. I want to extend it a little bit further. I've got the emergency food.
We should definitely play on that. I love that. That's a huge hobby of mine. Is putting kits together.
In the car at least I've got the road flares. I've got the chains. Those two just in case.
You in your car right now?
In my car right now.
Oh, very good. Dude, I need to have that stuff.
Yeah,
you should have that stuff.
Anything happens
in SoCal right now, you're not going to get snow these days.
No,
the chains are.
At least
then if you do, it's definitely good. You're the one that has.
I'm the one who has them. I can get the hell out of it.
Everyone's on the side of the freeway in flames, and you're just kind of like la da da.
Listening to your iPod, just trotting around. Hey,
oh, what a wonderful feeling!
You see me in the freezing cold, just like, damn it! Just trying to.
I just wave as I pass you by. Oh, Brian! Hey, see ya! Damn it, Elliot! I hate that guy.
He always has chains on him.
I can just see you on the side of the freeway, like stapling a sock to your trying to find some way to get your car to work again.
Yeah, I'll put like a sock on my exhaust. I think that works for some reason. It's like, it'll heat up this part, but my foot's cold. I don't know what to do next. Oh God!
So I've got the usual. But then you gotta have the extra pair of clothing.
Yeah,
of course,
full set. So you got socks, pants, underwear, shirt, jacket, sweatshirt. I got the whole array.
All right, so we're about to unveil some of my nut jobness here.
Uh-oh.
So I have a bag which has a 72.
Do you have a bug out bag?
I have. Okay, let me be more realistic here. I have a bug in bag. A bug-in bag, which is a very huge duffel bag downstairs in the basement, which, basically if there's, literally, stay home, it's the only safe place, I have a bag that's supposed to keep this place habitable for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
While you form a plan.
Exactly.
Nice.
I have a bug-out bag, which is simply a bag that stays ready to go. And for Brian, since you might not know what a bug-out bag is, it is a bag that can get you to survive in any situation for 72 hours or more.
So it's kind of like one of those bags you take on a camping trip. Goes ahead and
just kind of like with
the sleeping bag.
You go down to the army surplus, you get the food rations that last 4 years.
I have these lemon bar ones.
Oh my God, you guys are ready. I'm fucking I got a laptop.
Well,
that'll last you about 3 hours, and then you're screwed.
Oh shit!
Man, I can play Minecraft for an hour.
Yeah.
Then I'll figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Not true, because now I can go on to the rest of it. So I've said I have a bug-in bag and a bug-out bag. I also have my go bag, which is a bag that I take with me on a regular basis, which you have seen a little bit of.
Right.
Yes.
I've seen hints of that.
That typically stays in a vehicle, but nowadays, since I'm more romping around in alternate vehicles, I keep it on me. And then I have, usually in my vehicle, I have a vehicle bag, which is essentially a bug-out bag that stays in the vehicle at all times. So I have 2 bug-out bags, a bug-in bag and a go bag. And
what would you say is the most unusual item in your bags?
Yeah.
The thing that you go, out of all of these, this is probably the least likely to come in use, but I like having it anyways.
Yeah. It's not a necessity, but it could be fun.
In my car, I've got a gas mask and a riot shield.
Okay, I've seen that, yes.
Wow.
Those things, honestly, I like having them, but the likelihood of me actually needing them.
See, and I've
used the riot shield as seating a few times.
What I wound
that's the extent of it.
What I wound up doing, actually, instead of getting that kind of stuff, is I know how to make a makeshift gas mask, so I have the stuff to do so. As well as those things can be used for alternate items as well. So
right, so you've got dual purpose,
exactly,
multi-purpose.
That way you carry less heavy, bulky stuff, and it's called a force multiplier. It's if you have an item that can serve more than one use, you've multiplied the usefulness of that item. Therefore, you can carry less items.
Beautiful, love that.
Because knowledge is power.
Do you go the route of cutting down things to make them lighter?
Yes.
I know a few people who are ultra hikers.
Yes.
Who are they'll hike hundreds of miles, and
Jesus.
to save on weight, they'll I need a toothbrush because I'm going to be gone for a month. So instead of bringing the whole toothbrush, they'll cut it in half lengthwise and then cut it in half sideways, and they've just got this little tiny like itty bitty thing that still works.
Yeah, exactly.
It weighs a quarter of the weight, and they do that with everything.
Yeah, I kind of do that. Not quite to that extreme. I found
Get
a
down
small
to 3 bristles.
Yeah, I found
3 bristles.
I found a small little toothbrush.
Half an hour every night, just trying to get every crevice in your teeth.
You don't need floss at that point.
Well, actually, I've heard it recommended. Like, if you have to choose between toothbrush and floss, you go with the floss
because you could actually chew on various items that could do the same thing a toothbrush can do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
No, I didn't go as far as that. Like, I have a toothbrush that actually you open up and you can keep the toothpaste and the toothpicks and the other stuff in the handle.
Inside the handle. I've seen those. Yeah. Yeah.
So I went that route. But what I have is a lot of tiny little, like, either 2-inch or full-length straws that have Sharpie stuff written on them.
Nice.
And they're sealed on either end. One has a dehydrated peanut butter. One has a fishing line and stuff like that, and these are little lightweight things that don't even weigh enough to where you could take like a fistful of these things and it's still
a few ounces.
It's still just a few ounces.
So I have those kind of hidden in compartments in my bag. I have I also alter my bags. I am a huge bag nut, which is why Maxpedition, but a little bit of a throw out there.
You got a bag just chilling right there.
Yeah, that's actually an old one that I'm planning to tear apart and add new pouches.
Oh, very nice. If you're looking for pouches, am I allowed to like pitch a location on this show?
Pitch away.
I have been for years, since probably like 5th grade. I have been going to M&I Army Surplus in Pomona.
Okay.
That place is amazing. Best Army Surplus store I have ever been to, hands down. I've been to a lot.
You mentioned that to me.
And honestly, they've got an entire aisle of like various pouches from different armies and militaries and navies and what have you.
Whatever suits your needs.
That's where I got the riot shield and the gas mask.
Oh, nice.
Gas mask was $20. Why not? Riot shield was 15. How can I not buy a riot shield if it's only $15?
I was actually really surprised right now how cheap that was. Not saying like everybody go get a gas mask, you're going to need it, but at the same time, it's like
price.
I mean, shit, why not? I was expecting maybe like $60 to maybe $100 for that.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah. These are cheaper gas masks. They're usually used in Ukraine. So, like, when you were seeing some of the revolutionary stuff going on...
Oh, wow.
I was seeing some of those gas masks pop up. I'm like, I've got that.
Yeah.
That model.
I see the serial number, the barcode on it.
Wait a minute.
That one ends in 3.
From my car?
If I wanted to, I could cosplay that exact outfit as beaten on that young man. I have all that.
I have all that gear.
Oh.
That would be a very obscure cosplay. You'd have to have that video on hand.
Yes.
Like, I'm cosplaying this rioter who's getting the shit beat out of him.
Everybody just knows what it is.
She said that's a dark, messed up world.
You're that rioter!
No, I'm just like, oh shit! Like, that's you! And they're like, yeah. Oh my god, how did you know that?
Nailed it!
That is a dark world I don't want to be a part of. And a lot of people have talked about, like, why do you have the bags? Why do you do this? To me, it's just a hobby. I don't actually look at it as
that's where I'm at.
I had a landlord who was a huge prepper. Like, and he knew exactly what he expected to happen.
They're serious about it.
Yeah,
I know people who are serious about it.
I moved in, it was a place to live, like, really big, fancy, former mansion that was allowed to be run down.
Okay.
But it was $400 a month to live.
Nice.
I had a huge room that's bigger.
Not bad.
My bedroom was bigger than this living room.
Nice.
It had I literally had an office, a bedroom, and a whole bunch of stuff in one room, and there was this big, giant, like multi-sided property where it's like you had a pool and a yard on one side, you had a big like bamboo walkway and a hideaway on another side.
Holy crap!
Huge yard that had a big fishing pond that he actually had a tilapia growing in.
Oh, very nice.
And he was
growing his own food, eh?
Exactly.
Tilapia's not bad as long as you don't get it from Salton Sea.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's too salty.
It's too salty. I was thinking botulism, but there's that too.
Yeah.
I'd avoid that one. But yeah, his thought was that there's going to be a man-made epidemic that's going to wipe out the majority of mankind. We can't trust the food off property. Okay. So he took my knowledge of things I did just based on this being a hobby and as a writer. He took it and thought, okay, so what do you do for this situation? And I was like, well, we're right on a golf course, so your fuel needs would be just fine. What do you mean? And I literally took him for a walk on the golf course, and they have both a giant above-ground diesel and regular gasoline container system to run all their equipment, like the John Deeres, the Cushman carts, and their vehicles. So if, say, we're talking about the shit hits the fan, go over there, little by little, start bringing that stuff over this way. There's fuel there. Christ. First thing you hit is the fuel. You go over with the big empty barrels that he has. You take his pickup truck and just throw those in the back and just start filling them.
Quick question: do you have weaponry in this plan? Because honestly, with the number of people.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be the only one who knows that there's fuel there. You're not going to be the only one running that direction.
There's going to be a guy with
fighting over that.
There's going to be a guy with a pair of binoculars, just like they got fuel. It says it right on the can.
It says it right there. It says diesel on the side of that giant tank.
Yeah,
I am going there.
I'm going to go get that diesel so I can use it for my car.
Shit, look, there's already people going there. Well, I'm grabbing my shotgun.
Yes, exactly. No, you're exactly right, man.
Well, I'll go as far as to how weird I got into this shit.
Okay.
Yes, I do have plans for self-defense and offensive capability if need be.
You do have a samurai sword.
I have a sword, yes, but the sword's not quite exactly a modern...
it's not effective against a shotgun.
You know?
Though, if I wanted someone to piss themselves...
Yeah.
Now, I went as far as to explain, because I've worked on golf courses in the past as well, and these ones require you to take the vehicle that has the pump on it, because it wasn't the kind of thing that you could actually pump from the tank. How was that burp?
It was delicious.
It was delicious, so that's got a good burpability so far.
Nice. Very good. Did it taste like watermelon?
Not quite. It was more the wheat end of things.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah. The watermelon's on the way down. I think
it is. It's got... I like this.
It's subtle.
It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
It's a good summer beer.
Just want to lay out in the sun. Just go. This would be okay. I just pictured in my head. Go ahead, lay down on the beach. Hear the ocean just going ahead and splash and da 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 da. You know what I need? I need a hell or high watermelon right now.
That's what I need.
Just made a commercial for them right now.
Hell or high watermelon for when you need to relax at the beach.
Thanks. Or on the Golden Gate Bridge. I know. I think we all could just like go up to San Francisco with a case of this and just sit on the side of the bridge, and everyone's like thinking, "Don't jump!" We're like, "What are they talking about? We're just having beer."
Yeah. You know, they come by and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Here.
What it says on the can.
Have one.
See, she's sitting on the bridge.
She's chilling.
We're doing what the label suggested.
Yeah, with the watermelon in hand.
With the watermelon in hand. Oh,
yeah, she's got. She
just a whole watermelon.
Just
not like a slice of watermelon. Just a whole watermelon. Just holding it. Not doing anything with it.
Yeah, just acting nonchalant about it.
Just a watermelon.
What are you doing?
Can I just say that watermelon is larger than the boulder that almost crushed Indiana Jones? And
probably.
Much larger. Yeah. Much larger. That distance is over 400 feet down to the ocean.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Watermelon. Yeah, that's a large watermelon.
But I also might want to show how American she is, because that hard worker who managed to grow just gigantic watermelons, he's driving by and he's like, "I'm going to become rich." She just jacked.
He probably lost tens of thousands.
Oh yeah,
his watermelons are that big,
and all the science that went into that thing.
Science,
steroids.
Yeah.
Have you heard about? Speaking of science and genetic engineering, I just learned about something called CRISPR. CRISPR. Okay, so they found this molecular structure inside bacteria.
Okay.
Basically, it goes and it finds when a virus attacks.
Yep.
It goes to the DNA that the virus implants, and it checks it for a copy of DNA that it's got. And if it matches, then it tears it to shreds.
Wow.
And it cuts it up. Now, scientists have figured out how to use that to put in their own DNA. They can go, look for this.
Yeah.
And they've actually figured out a way to say, replace it with that.
Oh, okay.
And so now scientists can basically release this thing, and it'll just start replacing it in every single cell it finds. It just goes, and it just starts replacing it, right?
That's crazy stuff, man.
This is the thing I'm concerned about. We need to start regulating this stuff now.
Yeah.
Because already, scientists in China have announced that they have successfully done this on a human embryo.
We are so fucked.
I know!
Yeah, dude, that's Captain America in the making, man.
That's not Captain America. That's
we need to regulate this. At least say, for genetic disorders only.
Yeah. See, but then it's like how, the whole situation with people going ahead and having their information stolen off of cell phones. It got to the critical mass, and then all of a sudden said, "Hey, someone knows where I'm at all times."
Weird.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
But it was happening years and years ahead of time.
When did that happen?
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago? Seriously? This has been happening this whole time?
Whoa, what?
Yeah, you would...
Well, how dare they? How dare they take my... Yeah.
Well, now it's not going to be your information. It's going to be your genetic code.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they're going to make Puerto Ricans everywhere.
What's even scary... What makes this...
No, he said they cut out this stuff, so there's going to be no Puerto Ricans left.
Oh, no. It's going to be like a wildfire.
We need to regulate this so eugenics doesn't become a problem again.
Oh, my God. That's gnarly.
Right now, the thing is, before then, it cost tens of thousands to do this kind of precise genetic engineering.
Yeah. Now it's...
CRISPR, $75.
Yeah.
That is absurdly cheap.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and turn Bryant orange and blue for the show.
Okay. That sounds good.
He's gonna have a permanent handlebar mustache, genetically perfected.
It's gonna be made out of adamantium.
Perfected.
Adamantium at that. But I will go ahead and gain new powers of actually being able to grow, produce. I'll actually have the green thumb.
The thumb to touch a little bit of soil and just food just pops up.
Exactly. And carrots will be my favorite because I'm already orange. I will have a sentiment with it.
You're orange all over. You hold up the green thumb, and there's your top.
Yes. See. So you guys are going along.
I'm gonna.
You guys are nice.
Tell someone genetically alters.
We're the ones who just volunteered you for an experimental genetic procedure, and you're like, you guys are nice.
You guys are nice enough to go along with my story.
Someone's gonna genetically alter like a super Bugs Bunny that's gonna eat you. You know that, right?
Oh my God, that just reminds me of Looney Tunes when it's the Jekyll and Hyde when Bugs Bunny goes ahead and does the Jekyll and Hyde and he just beats up.
Oh, damn, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's old school right there.
What hasn't happened in a long time. I really want them to do it again. The Hollywood Bowl used to do live showings of Looney Tunes.
Really?
But they would cut out the music.
What?
And they would have a live orchestra play the music along with the cartoons.
That's awesome.
Amazing. They haven't done it in years. I've been waiting for them to do it again because I've been dying to see that again.
Yeah, and that in itself was one of the most exciting things about Looney Tunes and like
the classical music.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry and all that stuff. You had the classical music and there was no Looney Tunes. They had the verbiage. They had what's up, Dak? All that stuff. Tom and Jerry was just straight orchestra.
Yeah. Oh,
straight orchestra.
And then you get the ones like My Magic Helmet. Yeah. And it's like the classical, opera music but with their own lyrics. Like they did Barbara Seville. See? Love that.
We are the only people I know that can go straight from end of the world human engineering to Looney Tunes.
And now I'm going to give you a little bit of etymology.
Whoa! Take it easy, all right?
I know. So the word Nimrod, right? When you call you're a Nimrod.
Hey, what's up, Nimrod?
We hear that all the time.
That's nerd.
Turns out,
geek, whatever.
The term Nimrod it comes from the Bible, and it was a great warrior, like amazing hunter. Right?
That's horrible.
Like really strong, brilliant hunter.
How is that horrible?
And here's how it turned around. You ready?
Wait for it.
Bugs Bunny turned it. So it was an ironic joke. So he's looking at Elmer Fudd and he goes, "Look at Nimrod." And he's making a joke like, he's not actually Nimrod. He's Nimrod. And all of the kids who are like 3, 4, 5 at the time, they didn't get that. Of course, they don't know who the hell Nimrod is.
Yeah.
All the adults do.
Yeah.
And so they grow up thinking Nimrod means idiot.
Yeah.
And that's what it means today.
Boom.
Whoa.
Society in a nutshell.
Society in a nutshell.
I've told this one to Bryant, I believe.
Not literal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe I've told this to Bryant, but did you know that the very final episode of Tom and Jerry consists of Tom and Jerry committing suicide?
I saw that.
See that? I need to see this. Because it's kind of crazy to think about.
It's very dark.
There's a lot of that in those cartoons where you go, they showed that to kids?
A lot of...
Yeah.
That's a thing we showed to kids?
But they were pretty good keeping it subtle. Let's be honest. Did we notice it growing up?
The adults totally get it.
Probably.
The kids are like, it's silly.
I mean, like, it's Tom Avery, MGM, like, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, all those places. And it's Disney as well. They had a lot of grim... horrible things. Like Bambi, for instance, they killed the mother right off the bat, and it's just like a depressing scene.
Always kill someone off at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
it's like every movie.
But you're watching it as a child. It's a sad scene. You don't. I mean, you know about
I bawled
death
my
in
eyes
it.
out.
See? But it was.
It's kind of sad. No, man, I cried for an hour.
Yeah,
screw you and your stone cold heart.
Pinocchio, you aren't a real boy. You are wood.
I knew you had no heart, Brian.
See, I cried too, but I didn't cry because of that. I cried because it was a cartoon and I wasn't going to be able to have any deer jerky.
Yeah, see, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
That's very different.
No, not veal. Yeah, no veal.
No veal.
Veal is good.
Yeah, it is. It is actually really good.
Obscure meats. What have you eaten?
Tiger. And then I found
you had tiger.
Yeah, and then I found out
tiger.
This place in Canada, it was like a meat thing, and this dude got shut down. And
I would assume so.
Yeah, his stand.
I would hope so.
You got the last batch.
Well, his stand got shut down because he was claiming he was selling tiger testicles for power and stuff. And then they found out that he sold that off and he was selling meat. Now, everyone was like, "Oh, it couldn't have been tiger.
Right.
And then we look it up and we find out this dude got arrested because
it was tiger.
It was tiger.
Well, he should be arrested, but that's amazing. How was it?
Yeah.
I shit you not. It tasted like pretty much buffalo jerky.
Okay.
So really, just go for the buffalo jerky. I mean, if you have to choose between
I did also have
destroying the island of Catalina.
I also was like completely
choose for the one that's overpopulated.
I was tuned in to the people who were weaker than me. Every time I saw a small person, I was like, "You are weak. I can kill you and eat you and become powerful." I could tell for that entire day who was the prey.
Have some bull cojones, man. That's full of testosterone.
I've had cow testicles.
Well, they've got that whole festival in Texas, don't they?
I believe.
Yeah, there's actually a California festival as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I found out a couple years ago, but I still haven't gone.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out sometime.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot more toned down. We should absolutely do that.
There you go.
Yeah. How about you, Brian?
What?
Something strange you've eaten.
Something strange? I've had alligator jerky.
Alligator jerky.
You know what? The jerky.
See,
it tastes. The jerky in itself, it was very well made. It was from Alien Fresh Jerky.
Okay, I heard about them.
Yeah,
driven around, seen the billboards.
Carne asada jerky. Oh my god, it's so good. But so I got the alligator jerky, and my sister got it for me, and she was like, "Here, try it." And I was like, "Because I'm known in my family,
dinosaur."
Yeah, I'm known in my family to go ahead and be the one that tries new things, and I go to I don't know if you ever heard of
It's true, they
Market
got him to
Broiler.
try anal for the first time.
Oh,
yeah,
very nice.
It tastes like a pig anus.
Wow.
They told me that it was calamari. That's a conversation we've had before.
They told me it was calamari, but it was pig anus. It was pig anus.
Yeah. It tastes like honestly, it tastes a little bit like chicken. It's kind of weird.
With a hint,
I had popcorn alligator.
It tastes a little bit like chicken.
It was the same experience for me.
Did anyone else kind of get the hint of catfish with the chicken to it? Because that's what I got. I had,
the catfish, because they kind of scrounge on the bottom.
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
The thing that I've heard though is it depends on how you prepare it and how you cut it. Because I've heard people who have alligator steaks, and they liken it more like beef with a little bit of that catfish.
that's the way I had
That's
it.
interesting.
So, here's my honest take on it.
A little bit of rock and roll.
Yeah,
Nice.
My honest take on it was it kind of chewed like chicken, tasted like beef, and had a hint of catfish. Overall, that's what I got out of it.
Oh, very
I
nice.
have had alligator jerky. Oh no, I had croc jerky. And
croc jerky. So you're talking the Nile. Like,
yeah.
Wish for the Nile.
Again, this was also based on the label, so this could have been anything. I mean, for all I know, I probably ate small boy Timmy down the street. For all we know, but
Touché.
Depending on where you bought it from,
I was
Did you
a
buy
little
it from a street vendor.
He bought it from old Sam down the street.
This was at the same. This was at the same meat
got
convention.
that creepy '70s porn stash, you know.
He's always watching it. I don't know what's going on
with jerky.
Yeah,
I got some jerky for you. What kind you want?
And it was never properly sealed.
It's just in a plastic baggie.
It's just in regular Ziplocs. Sure,
why is there a syringe in mine?
Do you want it or not?
Free drugs with every purchase.
Free flashback you didn't want to remember.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't go to Nam.
No, all right. So That just reminds me of Family Guy with where Meg drives into the satellite dish, and then Peter's like, "Oh, she lost her arm in Nam." And everyone's just like, "Oh, senseless war." They walk off. They forget that she drove right into the satellite to take out the city's TV and all that stuff. Oh, Family Guy.
I had
never
bear salami. Black bear salami.
That's
really
delicious.
It was good. It was good. The flavor was pretty much salami. The thing that's more interesting is where it came from.
Okay.
So a few of my family members, they live in Red Bluff, California. It's a redneck kind of a town.
Upstate?
Upstate. Yeah. Okay. It's a couple hours north of Sacramento.
Oh wow. Very cool.
And it's very much a redneck filled town.
Okay.
Their neighbors go black bear hunting occasionally.
That's crazy.
So they go out there, and at the time, their son was, from what I remember, like 6, 7. They're going out in the winter.
Very young.
They're going out in the winter. Oh, yeah. Just wait. They're going out in the winter. And so the bears are hibernating, in their little hidey holes.
Yeah.
So they find one of these little hidey holes.
Jesus.
And they take little Billy by the ankles, and they give him the shotgun.
Nice.
And they lower him down the hidey hole, and he shoots the bear.
Just lights him up.
And passes up the gun. He grabs the bear, and they pull the both of them out.
Holy shit. So that is so intense for little Jimmy.
I know. This is like prime example of what that town is kind of about.
It kind of goes back to the Looney Tunes thing. It's like it's the norms for him. Yeah. He's like, yeah, let's go. Well, I'm gonna shoot a freaking bear in the face with a shotgun.
What exactly?
That's normal stuff.
And then of course, they bring it to the butcher, who's like, yeah, okay, I'll butcher it for you, and it's just like par for the course for him because he's in Red Bluff.
What exactly was Timmy's middle name? Leonidas?
Right?
He's just fully just ripped.
Timmy, stop wearing your cape at the dinner table.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Man.
No way. He's got to keep that on, Go ahead and give him the strength he needs to take out those black bears.
Man, this is definitely Peter's favorite Chimi episode, I bet.
Who?
All the meat.
PETA?
Oh, PETA? Jesus.
Although, I'm wondering what PETA would think about lab-grown meat.
Lab-grown meat.
Have you heard about all that kind of stuff?
I know that they actually went ahead and made the first arm.
They made the first burger. Lab-grown burger.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds really bad.
No, actually, supposedly it didn't taste too bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean
texture is what they
chemically and genetically wise.
No, so here's what they do. They take cell cultures from a cow.
Okay.
And they grow those cells into a full-size thing in a lab and ground that up into meat.
Oh, God, that sounds... not right. But you know what?
What they're working on right now...
Give it 40 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, dude, I'm thinking give it 10.
Touche.
It's getting fast. The first burger cost like $1 million, but now it's down to like $10,000, and it's like the rich people are like trying it because it's like the fancy thing to do.
Yeah.
They're getting it down really quick, and I'm thinking 10, 15 years, we're going to see that as a regular staple in the market.
Right.
And honestly, I can't wait.
Meanwhile, top ramen is going to become a delicacy.
Yes, exactly.
Well, the way everything works, it's like shrimp and lobster. That used to be like poor man food.
Oh, exactly.
Until
no one wanted to eat it. Yams, sweet potatoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've just never had a taste for it.
Sweet
never
potatoes?
had a taste for it.
You're fired. Get out.
Oh, fair. Thank you.
Apparently,
thank you. I got fired on this episode today, everybody, and we are half an hour in. Oh my god.
My god.
Almost 40. Almost 40.
Almost 40. Woof. I've done better.
You're slipping, man. You're slipping.
I'm slipping.
Yeah, back during the late 1700s, early 1800s, slave owners they would eat the white potatoes, and they look at the yams and the sweet potatoes and go, I'm not going to eat that because it's not white.
Oh, wow.
And they gave it to the slaves,
wow.
which ironically, it had more nutrients than any of the white potatoes ever had.
And a little bit tastier,
it's
in my opinion.
It's a little bit tastier, yeah.
I've just never had a taste for it. It's
then get one.
I like the fries.
No, wait a minute.
On it.
Wait.
Put some brown sugar on those sweet potato fries.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is
but
good.
Come on now.
You hating the yam so much.
Hating yams? I never said I hate yams. I don't have a
Don't
flavor
derail
for
this.
yams.
This is important. You must answer honestly.
Let me just lick you real quick.
Where do you keep?
I'm not tasting yam.
Where do you keep your slaves?
Where do you keep your?
I actually keep them here at your house underneath with your to-go bag or out bag.
Bag.
With your out bag.
My takeout bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to let you know, I didn't want you to be shocked or anything.
You in a follow-up,
I will gladly take a follow-up.
Are you even near a follow-up, sir?
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more Hell or High Watermelon 21st Amendment Brewery.
Go ahead, keep it in the can like you always do.
Yeah. It's a 4.9 alcohol volume.
So we're obviously going to get completely fucked up tonight.
Oh,
wasted.
Yeah, 4.9. Damn.
I can't feel my toes right now.
I'm used to 0.5.
Jesus, guys.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, I'm so drunk.
God.
Everyone that's so ugly looks so attractive right now.
One of my favorite drugs right here.
Oh, man.
Right?
I hate that people don't classify this as a drug.
I actually am so entertained by that.
This and nicotine. People are like, no, tobacco and alcohol are drugs. What are you talking about? Of course they are drugs.
They are absolutely drugs.
Absolutely drugs. Like,
they're socially acceptable.
That's what it is. It's socially acceptable, and they can tax it.
It's the two drugs that you're allowed to use recreationally.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's not a drug.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Your logic doesn't follow through.
Logic.
Logic was left out of that in 300-page.
Supposedly, if you get tobacco strong enough, you can hallucinate.
See? There you go. And people going ahead and actually picking the tobacco leaves in the fields, going ahead and actually, it's slipping into their fingertips, then they, pass out.
Oh,
right
really?
in the field.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, the people that go ahead, it goes into their fingertips. And then they just pass out in the field.
Well, it's kind of like, I had heard that if you have, and obviously this would not really exist in many areas in the first place, but if you have, nicotine in a cup, if you just kind of, touch it, you die.
Sweet.
No way.
Because it's that strong. You touch it, and it would instantly go through your skin, and your heart attack.
House wouldn't even be able to figure that one out.
I've got to keep a bottle of that shit handy.
Just hanging around.
Just splashing in somebody's face.
Best I can do is a bottle of caffeine. I got that at home.
That probably would go down
caffeine,
the powdered caffeine, yeah.
Jeez, a loo.
Yeah, we put that. It's like a full bottle, and it's 3 shakes is a cup of coffee.
Yeah, so we had a Big Lebowski night at Professor Elliot's house, and we went ahead and we're making, the infamous.
The White Russians.
The White Russians. Thank you. Yeah. And we were going ahead and drinking those, and he was Professor Elliot. I'm just
call me Elliot if you'd like to. The Professor.
I'm so used to Professor already. I'm like, should I
keep going with it?
I don't
know. It's going to be weird for the audience.
Yeah. We also refer to him as Mr. Longdong.
Ah, very good.
That's an accurate statement.
So
thank you, sir.
Elliot pulls out a powdered caffeine, and I go ahead and take a hit into my White Russian, and it was delicious, but at the same time, 5 minutes, 20 minutes later, I was feeling the effects.
As the local caffeine addict,
1, maybe 2 shakes at the most.
Now, as a local caffeine addict, why was I not in on this shit?
You weren't there yet, sir. Unfortunately,
you had not yet arrived.
Yes, with all the glorious In-N-Out fries.
I would like to bring that along. I'd like to bring that along next time I'm on the show.
Let's do it.
I don't know how you'd like to use it. Whether it's
anally.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're going to go anal. That makes sense. See, I'm going
to dilute it and put it and drop it into my eyes, if that's okay.
I don't know if that's okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's okay with me, but I don't know if that's okay with your body.
Actually, no. What you should do, we found out recently, apparently, if you take a little caffeine and rub it into your ear, it helps you. So maybe you could just dip your finger on it and rub it into your ear.
Oh, it'll be a little bit of a self-experiment, and you guys will go ahead and do that for me.
So we were. I had an art gallery show, and I was showing my artwork on Saturday night. And we were out before the showing. We were getting some drinks at this place, Thai place.
There was a Vietnamese, Thai, and Chinese.
It was a mix of
one of those things that just kind of whores itself out to all of it.
And the waitress, she's sitting behind her table at the far end of the restaurant, and she's got this cup of green tea, and she's dipping her finger in it, and putting her finger and twisting it in her ear, and then she waits a little bit. Does it again with the other finger and into the other ear,
and then she continues
to drink the drink.
Oh my god!
And she's doing this on repeat the entire time.
If someone knows if this is some sort of tradition, please let me know.
Yeah,
I want to know what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
honestly, this seems like there's some sort of maybe some sort of old wives' tale or something that I'm missing here, because it cannot be that.
Chimi Nation, please hit out. Tell us on Twitter. Tell us exactly what the hell just happened in front of us that day.
Honestly, it sounds like that tea just would be so untasteful.
Maybe it was just iced, and that maybe there's like an artery I don't know about, and that cools people down.
Brian,
honestly,
put your beer in your ear.
Put my beer in my ear?
Tell us if you get cold in 2 minutes.
I just get way drunk. I just get so fucking drunk.
Just by putting the can on your ear, it's like, boom, he passed out.
You imagine what would have happened if we pulled out the alcohol that was in the freezer.
No. Yeah. Whoa. Holy shit. Holy shit.
You know what? I want to touch on that since we mentioned it. Thank you to all of you for following us on Twitter. This has been a fantastic week.
Amazing weekend for you guys.
Thank you so much. You know what? Keep listening, and if you guys keep this up, we're definitely going to have some special surprises. I'm thinking that in light of the Fallout 4 awesomeness, I'm going to have to pre-order a little something for a possible giveaway.
There you go.
And since we're talking to the nation, let's go ahead and tell them that we're going to be at Comic-Con this year down in San Diego.
Very cool.
And we're not really worried about the Comic-Con. It's just our favorite holidays line up on those days.
But are we going to get to dress up?
We are. You are going to dress up as a slutty Boba Fett.
Are we going to do the pie toss?
We are maybe going to do a thing. We're going to celebrate some sort of food.
Okay. All right. We were thinking of doing a pie toss where we would go ahead and have people throw pies at us.
Let's be more specific.
Yes.
Show up at Comic-Con on the 12th. Go down to we'll post it on Twitter just so that we won't get stalked too much. We're not going to be at a booth. We're going to be on the street. I just molested myself with a microphone.
Oh god. Oh my.
Go ahead and find us, and potentially you and 23 other people could throw a handful of pecan pie at us.
Yeah, it's going to be Pecan Day.
24
Pecan Pie Day.
Let's put it this way. July 12th is National Pecan Pie Day.
I will not be involved in the Target end of things.
Oh, all right.
You're gonna throw a pie yourself?
I might throw a pie.
You're gonna throw a pie, sir?
I might just do that. I might just do that just to see the look of pain and anguish on your face.
Fair enough.
But don't worry, we're not going to waste all the food there on the day before. On the 11th is National Blueberry Muffin Day, and because some of you have been going to this for so long, and your costume is so hot, we're going to go ahead and feed you all a blueberry muffin.
Yep, there you go.
So wonderful.
Look for Bryant, look for myself, and look for our beautiful Chimi girls who are going to be passing out muffins as well.
Yep.
I'll be there, man.
And you're going to be dressed in the Chimi girl outfits?
No, I will be dressed in a Professor Elliot costume, a bit of an adventurer costume.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to be giving out free buttons all 4 days.
I am so jealous of your hat every single time I see
my
it.
pith helmet.
Yeah. Dude, I'm serious.
The first one saved my life quite literally.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, so the first episode of Adventure Club, Professor Elliot's Adventure Club.
Yeah.
You see, we're inside a gold mine.
Wow.
When I was exploring that gold mine on an earlier trip, the helmet that I had at that time, which is now broken, there was a beam that collapsed and fell onto my head.
Oh my god.
It cracked the helmet, crunched it, and I survived. I may have been knocked out unconscious if it hadn't been for the helmet. I don't know.
Oh my god, man.
There it is, man. And so now I keep that thing as like this thing saved my life.
Yeah. It's a stake in the whole thing, you know? Dude, you need that.
Saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I cannot believe that. Well, you know, they are caves in itself with beams and such and so forth, corrosion, yada, 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 science and so forth. I don't know all the facts. It's your field. But,
so, is there a history to that hat? Where's the origin of that hat from?
The origin of the hat. Well, honestly, I was looking for something to... I went through a phase in my life where I was looking for different hats for different purposes.
Okay.
In a way, I still kind of do that.
I'm going to pause you. What is your sex hat look like?
That one is between me and my girlfriend.
Ha-ha! I saw it. He's not going to say it, so I'm going to be the dick. He's got this strappy thing with a dildo hanging off the front in the forehead area.
Oh, no, that's for special nights. That's not a hat. That's just
for anniversaries and birthdays?
Yeah, see. The regular hat you have not yet seen.
I just assumed that was like the reverse cunnilingus hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and I kind of still do have hats for different occasions, but I was looking for some sort of adventure hat. And that was kind of in my head, in the back of my head, a back burner. You know, I need to look for an adventuring hat. Went to M&I Army Surplus and found a whole bunch of pith helmets, and I thought, that's the one.
That's awesome.
This is my adventuring hat.
I recently went to Michael's, and I saw a fake version of the same hat, immediately thought of you, and I wanted to get one, and I was just like, that's all right. One day. One day I'll have one of these. Yeah, but I saw it, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that hat is so cool. I need to see you go like on a safari.
It's made out of wood.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's called a pith helmet because it's made out of the pith of a tree, the center of the wood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Vietnamese kind of thing.
Cool.
Believe it or not, yeah.
See, there you go. Learn something new every day, Christian.
Wait.
Oh, he's pretending to balance something.
Dude, do it.
He's balancing a can. He's balancing it, and he's...
almost.
We almost had a beer down.
Going for round 2 right now.
It has successfully balanced the can.
There it is.
On the corner of the can.
There it is. Balance the can.
You sure would be great at the party. You should see what he does.
Just miss magic.
You should see what he does on a stripper pole.
Whoa!
Tears that thing up. He tears that thing up.
Ow!
So let's take a few steps back and go back to like in light of Fallout's releases.
Yes.
Let's not release, but the video release. Let's go back on End of the World contingency. What honestly, if we think the world's going to end?
Yes.
What do we think is going to happen?
Like most likely scenario?
Most likely.
Okay, I will have to ask what made the end of the world happen. Like, was it nukes? Was it nature?
That's what I'm asking. What's the most likely?
I would say in the most likely right now would be nukes.
Nukes.
Yeah, definitely, because people are... from what I keep hearing, news and everything like that, there's just so much aggravation between people and nations. It's just
I think that's an exaggeration.
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
I think that's not as much a concern as it was in the 70s.
Okay. So they're just trying to hold on to they're trying to hold on to the Cold War. They're trying to bring that
back. Like turning the word, using the word terrorist as they used the word commie back in the, it's like,
insurgent.
Like, you dirty terrorist. It's like, as soon as you call that word out, immediately all hell breaks loose.
Yeah. It's almost like the new N-word,
right?
You know?
I mean, honestly,
seriously.
And the people who threaten it the most, like North Korea, they actually don't have the power to do it. I mean, you've heard about their missile launches, where it's like the missile. Have you heard about their missile?
No, not at all. Not at all.
They're like, we're testing a missile today, and it launches and it falls on its side and just like,
oh my god!
It's because they're just like,
I would be so scared.
That's like the equivalent.
I would be so
That's the equivalent
scared.
of Putin saying, "I'm going to knock up Britney Spears in spite of America," and he couldn't get it up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh.
But let's be honest, a lot of the countries that have nukes are basically holding on the nukes so that way they don't get nuked.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
It's just a game of, if I leave this nuke, then I get nuked. Then I lose that power.
I guess since you told me that, I guess my opinion has changed now, and it would go to computer hacking. That would go ahead and destroy facilities, because what I've also heard is that somebody hacked into one of the nuclear facilities and put a virus into it.
Yep, I remember that. I remember that happening, and it changed like the core temperature and things like that. And,
yeah, that was nuts.
And did you hear who released that thing?
Who?
Turned out it was the CIA.
Ain't that a bitch?
And they're like,
ain't that a bitch?
They were testing, and they're like, "Oh, look at what we found! You didn't find it; you released it, you dicks."
Yeah,
you can't just say that you found something.
Oh man, it's lunchtime. I gotta
go. Look at this bologna sandwich I found on the counter. You just made that with bread and bologna.
Wheat bread, Ezekiel bread,
and then you threw it at my face. I watched you throw that bologna sandwich at my face, and now you're saying, "Oh, where did that bologna sandwich come from?"
Oh, came out of the air conditioner. It's right out of the vent.
It's an act of God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What about you, Christian? What's your preferred
finances?
Yes.
I think currency. I think that the value of the U.S. dollar, which is actually what is a staple for a lot of other countries, by the way.
That is true. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that the U.S. currency is currently on a plummet because there's too much money being printed at such a high rate.
Yeah,
the value of the dollar is going rapidly gone.
The amount of money that's being printed, it's just like paper.
Yeah.
Or cloth, I'm sorry, that's made of cloth.
Technically, that is all it is. I mean, it used to be backed by gold and silver.
Exactly.
Where it's like, you could redeem this for gold.
Yeah.
But now it's, we like to pretend it's worth something.
Yeah.
And that's the only... That's the scary thing. That's the only thing holding it aloft, is that everyone buys it. Everyone buys the idea that this is worth something. Now, if everyone goes, this actually isn't worth something. Everything collapses.
I know, just complete chaos. People ripping out their hair. You know, all the bread in the store.
Do with that little bit of imagination I like to imagine that this piece of paper is worth $5.
Exactly.
See, now, my honest opinion, though, is that it's not going to be like, oh, the government is trying to take over, so they remove our money. It's It's just more of the money just is not worth anything.
Yeah.
The cost of living. I mean, the dollar will still exist. All other currencies will still exist, but the cost of living will be so high that literally you can't even afford the bread.
This is why I'm a supporter of the concept of basic income.
Okay, talk about that for a minute then. I agree with you.
The basic income concept, and this is something that would be difficult to convince the higher-ups to implement, but honestly, I see it as a wonderful solution.
Okay.
The idea is you spend less money on certain things like war. You eliminate... right.
Well, I don't think they're going to take that.
Right. First off, you eliminate Medicare, welfare, Social Security...
That wasn't even supposed to last this long.
Oh, yeah. It's surprising it's lasted this long.
And we get the butt end of the deal, probably.
So those programs, not only are we giving people money for those programs, but we're also paying people money to look through every single application, to do follow-up interviews with people. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You take all that money and you distribute it to every single man, woman, and child in the U.S. on a monthly basis.
Cool.
And there's various ways you can fund it.
Which I want to say, that's not communism. Communism
is where you have total control over where everything is produced.
Exactly.
I
get a chicken this week.
Capitalism with a bonus income. This is capitalism still.
Exactly.
You still get to go out and do whatever the fuck you want with your money.
There's so many people who out there who they just simply hear the idea of sharing. And they think communism. Sharing is bad. Well, you taught me to share as a kid.
Honestly,
it's the Republicans.
Yeah,
I raised this chicken. I fed my... don't take my chicken. I ain't sharing shit. You
don't have to share your chicken. You get more money.
Yeah,
that's it.
You could say it's Republican. You say it's liberal. You could say any political party you want. All it is, it's basically that there is an authority that wants to have more to say than us. They would like to be our parents. Well, they did not give birth to us, and we are already smarter, and we outnumber them. So shut up. Let me grow my own bread.
And we continue to grow in numbers, and jobs continue to dwindle due to automation. And honestly, I'm not a Luddite here. Back in the era, the 1920s, the Luddites are coming around and they're like, oh, the machines are going to take over and take all of our jobs.
I'm telling you, the Matrix is right around the corner, man.
We've got artificial intelligences that are doing things that we can't do as fast as machines anymore.
They're talking about the postal service actually becoming almost entirely automated
and
soon.
That's a lot of jobs. The trucking industry is going to go automatic soon.
And that's going. I mean, that's testing fantastically too.
Yeah. And so we're looking at major job loss. And how are we going to deal with that?
Exactly.
People are going to be completely on the streets. So I'm saying you give people $2,000 a month, they can do things without the job. Now,
that sounds like, what? That's almost a utopia.
Well, it's not a utopia. There's still shit that happens.
Exactly. But let's be honest. There's going to be people that go ahead and see that as, well, that's too good to be true. And unfortunately, they will see it and they'll try to mess it up.
What he's talking about, Bryant?
No. I completely agree with that.
What he's talking about, though, is an Indian reservation.
You all make money from the gambling
and water
and the water
and Nestle
Nestle pays everyone.
Now what you're talking about is the ability to still live on a minimal income,
right,
and have the freedom to actually perform your own service in the world.
Exactly.
For instance, the three of us, we've kind of decided we're going to make our own companies, we're going to make our own businesses, we're going to do our own things.
But as of right now, we still have to work for a living. We have
this
to do other things.
This gives a human being the desire to say, I want to do this for the world.
This is what I want to do full time.
$2,000 a month goes to giving them a home and food.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then your efforts, your sweat, the struggle you put together.
I will say that definitely
That
without the information that you just given me, if you just tell somebody that randomly, it will shock somebody into thinking communism.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's
the
so
lack of information.
Right.
It's just the lack of information.
One of the things
it'll freak somebody out.
I've studied communism.
One of the most common complaints I've heard is that, but what about the lazy people who will take advantage? I'm like,
That's what
I've heard the statistic that there are 3 people applying for every 1 job. Yeah. We could have 2/3 of this country being lazy as crap, and we'd still be fine. We'd still be totally okay.
Yeah, we'd be okay.
And the economy would be better for it.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be easier to find a job, it'd be easier to keep a job, and it'd be easier to follow pursue your own dreams.
Exactly.
The American dream, my friend.
Yeah, of course, someone's going to get $2,000 in vodka a month. That's fine. I'll let them do that.
That's helping out. Literally, that's helping out the business.
That's helping out the business. It's helping out the business, but at the same time,
going ahead and selling it at a retail price.
At the same time, that person's not going to be out trying to take your job from you.
If they're buying $2,000 worth of vodka,
that person had to go and find a job to buy that vodka, and then they drink it on the job.
Yeah. Touche.
You're reducing the safety concerns. You're reducing economic concerns.
You know what will boom? Taxis and Uber. Because everybody has the money to go ahead and say, "Well, I went to a bar. I didn't spend all my money there.
Exactly.
Now I could get a taxi home."
That may also be a dying job as well because of automatic cars.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm thinking 40, 45 years.
So we're going iRobot.
I don't know. I'm thinking about 20.
You open up your iPhone. You type in, "I need a cab to go home." It pulls up front.
No, not
you
even.
Hop in.
Just give a glimpse.
You just give a clip and you say, "Home."
My location.
Yeah. And it pulls up. You hop in, and it's just 2 seats in the front of one single car.
Bam.
And it drives you home.
There is also a lot of talk about automated shared cars, where basically the idea, this premise is, there's a car in your driveway when you wake up. It drives you to work. Someone who needs to go somewhere, they get in that car, they drive that to back to their house. Meanwhile, you have to go to work. There's a car that is supposed to be there. If there's not a car for you, there's a car that is on systems, knows that you get off work at this time. It's scheduled to get to you.
I will say that Alex Jones is so against this automated car system because it makes people have to stay at home.
Talk to the audience about who Alex Jones is.
Alex Jones is he is also a podcaster. He has his own show that is called InfoWars. He has the InfoWars. He does Prison Planet and the website Infowars.com. And but he is so against the whole concept of automated cars because it will go ahead and limit people from actually going to where they want at their own free at their own free.
Perhaps one day, but let's be honest. Are we really?
I'm just saying.
Really going to live in a world where
you can't type in the address and go to that address,
or even own your own car to drive? Let's be honest. This is a utopia for those who can't afford their own car. There are also the car enthusiasts who will still own their car and still go down to the beach.
Those licenses will just be more expensive.
Exactly.
It's going to cost you more and take more training.
I would say the registration as opposed to... Yeah.
Exactly, because you have to be more trained and more adept at driving to be able to be allowed to be on the road.
Yeah.
The people who are on the road today, they would not be allowed to drive. Some of the people I encountered just today, I would say, you don't get a license.
Yeah, dude, you know what I love when it rains?
Exactly.
What I love is
lose their minds.
The Google car. Every single one of those has crashed. However, let's be honest.
The only times it's crashed is because of human error.
Yes, someone else hit those cars.
It's not the car's problem. It's because either someone else crashed it, or the person in the car took over the wheel.
Yep. Every single time. That's
the one drawback right now is a big one, though.
What's that?
It can't drive in inclement weather.
I've heard that.
So sleet and rain and things like that, it goes, "I can't see," and it just pulls over and stops. It's like, "I can't see! Can't see!"
You know what? That might be bad for business.
Can't have automatic cars in Seattle.
You see a guy just like shivering, just like waiting for the Uber car.
It's like, "When's the rain going to be done?" 5 days.
You just see the text message. The car has stopped. Oh shit!
So when's the rain going to be done? 3 weeks from now.
So wait a minute. What did they base the AI on? What did they base the AI on? The AI on a bird? Like, I can't see. It must be nighttime. Time to go sleep.
Well, I mean, you go and take into the effect all the programming and all the electrical systems in there.
It wants to be safe.
Exactly.
If it can't see, then it's going to go, "Ooh, I'd better not be driving right now because I can't see." Unlike most people who are like, "Man, it's foggy. I can't see 5 feet ahead of me. better get to work.
I know. Drive faster.
Drive faster.
I should drive faster so I'm not in the fog quite as long.
Yes, exactly. Let me put on my high beams and drive as fast as I can so I can go ahead and reach a car behind me.
If I hold down the horn the entire ride, will people know that's a safe way to go.
That's the exact opposite of these cars, which I like a lot.
Yeah. Gee, that's fun stuff, though. It's crazy to go ahead and think about, and it's like... And I guess I'll jump back to iRobot, where you could go ahead and switch between manual and automatic.
I see.
Well, Will Smith is a crazy mofo.
The automatic cars, you already can do that.
Well, some. But
the automatic ones.
The ones that exist, the Google cars, you can switch back and forth.
See, that's interesting. That's
Although this goes back to my particular favorite apocalypse scenario.
I was just going to ask you.
I'm so sorry. All right, everybody, let's jump back really quick.
This is one that is totally unpredictable. It can happen at any time, and it would wipe off all electricity on the planet.
Super herpes.
No.
Super herpes.
No, that's a biological thing. We're talking electricity. So
the day the
solar flare.
Oh,
big solar flare.
I'm ready for that.
If there's a big enough solar flare that hits this Earth, all data gets wiped out, all the electrical grids get wiped out, all the cars don't work, everything is shut down.
Yeah,
instantaneously, it's all done.
The day,
at least on that side of the
globe. World stood still.
I know how to prepare for that.
That's what it's called. The day the world stood still.
Faraday cages.
Pardon me?
No, I said Faraday cages. You saving your data?
No, I actually have currently cloned myself, and I'm starting to send all my clones in various directions into space. With as many clones as I've sent at 30,000 clones, I am destined to have one of them survive.
Yes.
It's bound to happen.
Statistically, yes.
If Matt Damon can survive for 14...
How many did you send out? How many so far? Just out of curiosity.
The goal is 30,000. I am, with my Kickstarter campaign, I am currently at jerking off into a few cups.
They might not know what that is. They might try to drink it.
They're like, I think this is alien sent us a treat.
Yes.
Let's try this.
They enjoy it. It's like a delicacy.
I'm jerking off into the cup so I can learn how to clone myself. That's the first. I'm at step one. Okay, guys.
Okay, fair enough.
I see. I thought you were sending these cups out into space.
Oh, I am.
So that way aliens could find the cups and then use that to clone.
I've actually put. I've taken one of the cups.
That's what we're planning.
I've taken one cup. I've attached a lot of balloons to it, and it's going up right now.
Two helium balloons just right into the space.
I'm picturing the helium balloon pops at the edge of the atmosphere. This cup comes skyrocketing, rocketing down, and someone's just walking along. Smack! What?
It's cum! There's cum everywhere!
It's flaming hot!
Yes. It's in my mustache!
The sky jizzed on my face!
So let's go back on solar flares.
That's my favorite.
The solar
because
flare.
you can't predict it, and solar flares happen often.
We're not talking about are you talking about like a solar flare that hits the Earth, or one that just...
It's big enough that it wipes out the electricity on the Earth. It's plausible.
Okay, because I was going to say, if one of those reaches the Earth, we're just gone.
Well, no, I mean, it can be big enough that it wipes out just... It accesses
that I actually do know how to...
then that brings me to the question of, I don't know.
If it just hits the Earth, we're dead.
I don't know if you can answer it, but I understand from what is documentaries and such and so forth that the sun is getting weaker and weaker.
Not for a time. It's going to get stronger and stronger for a bit.
Interesting.
Eventually, the sun will be large enough that it will encapsulate where the Earth is currently going around the sun.
That's interesting.
And not even remotely in the timelines of our generation.
At that point, we would have moved on because there's no place for us on Earth anymore.
Okay, I've always thought of the concept of Mercury is a ball of iron, or not a ball of iron, but
it's the Earth.
But the center of the Earth, from like all the scientific
99.999% of it is iron.
Yeah. So pretty much what I've always thought is like, you know what? Mercury is just always on fire, being turned into iron. Well, what happens when the Earth doesn't have any more like heat? And then it goes ahead and retracts the perfect heat for Mercury. Does that go ahead and turn into a new system of like, maybe water will go ahead and accumulate there and turn into the center of that planet? I don't think
it works that way, but I like the idea.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think Mercury is one of those planets that doesn't actually rotate.
Okay.
Which means that the same side is always facing the sun.
Oh, wow.
Which means one side is boiling hot.
Exactly.
And the other side is ice cold.
So it's not like Vin Diesel and Riddick.
Right.
Not exactly. Now, as far as the solar flares, what's your idea? How would you try to survive that?
Honestly, that's a pure survival situation.
Suntan lotion.
That is as pure as it gets. Well, yes, that's important. That's very important. That's a pure survival situation because that means all the electricity's gone.
Yes.
All of my Boy Scout skills come into play at that point. You know, it's like
now I'm just upset with my parents.
Right? We go in the mountains. We start surviving, hunting, gathering.
Okay.
Start with the basics.
I'm going to be hanging out with you guys. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys. My parents were raised in a concrete jungle. So...
Which actually, I think that's a more dangerous way to try to survive the end of anything. Because, let's be honest, everyone's going to go more nuts there to gather immediately when everything goes crap up.
Yep.
The
other thing...
far away.
Yeah.
You've got more space. You got
more space.
Yeah.
You could grow. You could live. You can alter.
I mean,
what are you growing, man? I'm just going to write this down so I know where to come after this all happens.
Honestly, tomatoes are easy in this
the cup, Bryant. I just said in the cup.
Oh, that's right.
Come in the cup.
Right, that's right.
Tomatoes are damn
Tomatoes are damn easy.
Tomatoes are damn easy, and they grow quick. What you need is a layer. First off, you want to do hugelkultur beds, not just an actual...
You know what you can do with tomatoes? You can
eat them.
You can splice them with potatoes.
I've heard
that. So that way, once the tomato plant dies, you pluck it up, and you've got like 5 potatoes.
You could do the same with grapes. You could grow tomato, grapes, potatoes, and not cucumbers, something else. Anyways, on one wall, you can grow all this food, so that way year long the same wall is producing food for you.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
As well as a hugelkultur bed. Are you familiar with hugelkultur at all?
It sounds very familiar, but I'm
not
sure.
You take rotting older wood, bury it, and then you put the dirt up in mounds as opposed to flat. It's not a flat thing.
Okay.
And you have a smaller amount of property, but because the ground is going in waves, you technically, in the same amount of property, have more soil to grow on. And it's feeding off this old rotting wood down underneath.
Interesting.
That makes
very
sense.
interesting.
See, I know someone who...
Which holds moisture for longer periods of time, I might add.
Yeah.
I know of someone, he built... His entire family, he's got like a 5-person family.
Yes.
They're all vegan, so of course this is possible. They subsist off of all of their own farming.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's like a half an acre of property.
People will think that's crazy nowadays.
Right.
It's like, how did we get here?
And one of the things he's implemented, and this is genius, is he dug this giant pit. It's like 8 foot deep, like 4 foot wide, and he filled it with rotting wood and a specific kind of mushroom, a specific kind of fungus, and he covered that up with dirt, so that when it rains, that fungus it gains all of that water, right?
Bacteria.
And when it gets dry, the fungus slowly lets out the water. The plants survive off of that water. He has designed his garden to be completely independent of his own watering system. It survives off the rain on its own.
That's amazing. That's completely ingenious, dude.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant.
That's
one
absolutely
of the brilliant ways that he farms is that anytime he gets a new plant, he gets like 6 of them, and he plants them in different areas, and the one that survives the location. Best, he transplants them all to that place.
That's
smart.
That's why when you start a farm first, you grow for a fact of the stuff will grow almost anywhere. Corn is a lot easier to grow in most places than most.
Corn is easy.
You start left off.
Thank you, government.
Oh my God, my grandparents lived off of apples, corns, and peas.
Fresh corn is way better than store bought. It's all starchy. Fresh corn, it's sweeter.
So
than
sweet,
oh,
that's amazing.
So good, and you could almost.
There's a reason they use corn syrup.
Yes.
There you go.
But essentially, you could live on the corn for a short spell while you figure out the landscape, the garden, everything. Mm-hmm. You'll have corn, potatoes, and stuff like that really easily. Okay. Now, you do have some other issues, such as you will have to go hunting and fishing. So, here's my honest situation as of now.
I do have a question for you after this.
Awesome. You mentioned solar flare and what you plan to do. My plan, honestly, I will gather everyone who I think is who could be of benefit of survival
to the group.
No, of course.
Including their families. I'm not a dick.
So
I'm not
you're
saying,
out, Bryant.
Yeah, I've been out.
In fact, I may actually come to your house solely to kill you, so you don't try to join us.
Yeah, all we got is a bunch of Puerto Rican food. So
exactly.
You turn around, Christian. What are we gonna do?
Pop.
There's no
Sir, all you got is electronics here. I don't need any of that. Would you go ahead and go into the ocean, or would you prefer to hunt on land?
I wouldn't even remotely pretend to think to go in the ocean because I would die.
Well, in the sense of fishing, I'm not talking about like deep sea diving where you go
diving on the coast.
Okay, here let me explain to you exactly what I plan to do.
San Francisco may be good for gardening, honestly.
It would. However, let me explain my exact plan as based on our location.
Of course.
I would actually gather people and get a caravan of vehicles and everyone to gather stuff, and we would spend a short amount of time letting the chaos go the way it does, because travel at first would be a freaking nightmare.
Oh, right. God!
But once it dies down and we have
like
gathered,
the image from Walking Dead where all the cars are just on the one side of the freeway.
Exactly. Now, I would gather all of us together, and I would get us in a caravan on one specific day when we honestly felt we made the travel right. I would get us up to Big Bear Mountain.
Brilliant.
For 2 reasons. One, the environment allows you to have enough moisture, enough growth. Mm-hmm. There's enough shade and enough sun. Exactly. Yes. There are seasons. There is natural.
There's a restaurant. There's a restaurant that's in New York at the moment. It is the Blue Farm. And
heard of this?
Yes. It's actually a show that's on Netflix right now called.
I saw that.
Yes, the Chef's Table. The Chef's Table.
That guy's restaurant.
That guy. It is called the Blue Farm, and he cooks everything seasonally. He goes ahead and makes sure that that his cows are going ahead and pooping on the grass, spread it around, create actual a farmland, like old-fashioned farmland, and he creates meals that will go ahead and taste superb with the seasons.
Okay,
that you're eating the right things. Exactly.
You mentioned this, and let me explain. That's why most of my food storage are in like the Home Depot gallon buckets.
Yeah,
because. Hear me out. You get the food to the location. That way, you have your seeds and your food separated. By the way, right. And then you remove those from the bucket, so that way you have things planted. You have your food in a safer location. You turn the buckets into toiletries. Then you gather your shit and you spread your shit.
Hey, that brings me to another episode at the Chef's Table, though. The guy that was in he was in an area where 6 months out of the year it was frozen. Mm-hmm. And he goes ahead and preserves a lot of his stuff, but it changes with where you're at.
Yes,
you could go ahead and say, well, yeah, so this is what I want, but it's like, you know what? Go ahead and tell that to an Eskimo.
For the record, you also don't just like throw your shit out there. You treat it. You create compost.
Exactly.
And these buckets are perfect for that. You actually just
create my own compost,
and all you do is you just simply roll it back and forth. Play a game, roll the shit. But
I'm thinking, not hydroponics, but aquaponics. Have you heard of that?
Yes,
not at all.
So what you do, Bryant, since Christian's heard of this. You are raising fish. You are raising fish.
Okay.
That water, with the poop water, cycles up into the garden. The garden water, the garden uses that water and uses the nutrients from there.
That's brilliant.
The excess water drains into the fish tank, which provides nutrients to the fish.
That's brilliant.
Okay, so now
that's like a full-on cycle. It's like
beautiful cycle.
Exactly. Let me explain why that's perfect right there. Because my goal with Big Bear is you get yourself a plow. You get a stream. You force a stream to come to the water area.
Touché.
And you grow your stuff off the stream.
Man-made stream, man.
Plant your hugel beds.
I've heard of people doing that today.
Plant your hugel beds based off the stream you provide. So that way there's a constant flow of water. You don't need to keep going to water your stuff. The wood that's underground, which you put at an angle to collect the moisture, the water, that will come underneath the beds, will water everything on its own.
The lake that's right here...
this lake sucks.
Is it fresh water, though?
Ish.
It's fresh. Okay,
it's fresh water in the sense that there's no salt.
Okay, that's what I guess that was better. I should have asked a better question.
That's the extent of the word fresh.
Okay. So you're saying I can't go over there and just fill up a coffee mug and go ahead? You just see you just see me just run straight to the bathroom and just like, oh my God, Elliot. Oh my God! Oh my God!
You told me it was fresh. You told me it was fresh.
See, now you're telling me what you do, but I know exactly what's wrong. I see a trail coming straight from the lake to this toilet.
Yeah.
Now, the other reason Big Bear is fantastic, number 2 out of 3, is there's wildlife there, and if done in moderation, you can hunt and live well.
Right. What do you guys think about going up to the mountains during this type of situation?
Well, first I gotta kidnap some chickens.
Exactly. You keep your chickens.
I love how you're kidnapping the chickens.
Well, honestly, someone owns them. And by all likelihood, there's probably still a farmer who's like, I've got chickens, I'm going to survive this.
We're
going to have to sneak in and go, yeah, some of those are ours now.
It must have been that damn coyote. It just blames it on coyotes and foxes.
Brian, I find it funny. I lost 80% of my livestock. I don't get it. I guess the coyotes are in full force.
The chickens is actually perfect. You do want to do the chickens.
Oh, yeah. Eggs on a regular basis is amazing.
Now, Brian, let me just add. You said go out to the mountains. I've been talking about going to the Big Bear Mountain this whole time.
Yes.
That's a mountain, dude.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Would you prefer to go to the mountain?
I'm talking about going to a mountain as my plan, so obviously.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is Big Bear has limited amounts of roads that you have access to and from. Therefore, you take some of the equipment up there, such as the bulldozers, the large big rig vehicles. Right. You can block that off.
Okay.
Make it more... Not obviously right there at the town, but you go down those roads.
People can't join you.
Not necessarily not join.
A secluded area. A secluded area,
survives for longer because other people aren't coming in and stealing your shit.
Exactly. Now, it does sound harsh, but let's be real. For the people who don't
think that's
watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I don't think that's harsh at all, man.
Yeah. For those who don't know...
I think you're lenient.
For those who don't know, and obviously the people who are there,
you need automatic weapons, sentry guns.
There you go. I need a little bit of barbed wire just for the dramatic effect. You know?
Barbed wire. I'm talking about taking like a big rig truck and literally getting it on its side, blocking off the entire path.
Just parking it there.
Not even that, like laying it on its side, so that way they can't even hook up a truck and move it away.
Fair enough.
And then obviously, like putting all the dead bodies in.
Only way in is the walk.
The only thing that came to my mind right there was Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, where he landed that plane and that thing was gone in a day.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about that.
I just learned that apparently his uncle is Francis Ford Coppola.
Coppola, yes. He changed it, and he actually changed his name to Cage because he's a fan of comics so much.
Well,
he was thinking...
He changed his name to Cage because he liked Luke Cage.
Yes,
but he changed his name because
you told me this in the past.
He didn't want people to think there was like nepotism going on. He didn't want people to think there's a family, preference going on for Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now that you watch his acting, you go, I don't think we would have worried about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to hold on to a Con Air, though. I'm holding on to Con Air.
Crap movies that he's been in that people would assume, like, the only reason these have gotten through is because he's related to Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay. Fair. Hey, would it be crazy to go ahead and think of it in that way? It's who you know. It's who you know.
It's who you blow.
That's
who you blow.
Megan Fox. Whoa, what was that?
Man? You blew Megan Fox?
Yeah, I did. She has a penis.
Sweet.
Really
I did not know that.
Yes, really big one.
Nice.
And I blew her.
Same as Lady
Blew
Gaga.
her hard.
She admitted it on an interview. She said she has a big, quote, a donkey dick. That's what she said.
Nice.
She has a giant donkey dick.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So in the end of the world, we will not quite have the microbrews we have today.
No, we'll have more microbrews.
Oh, my.
Less mass-produced, more microbrew. Because now it's going to be, wait, you have beer?
Which, by the way, that will be
that's all it's going to be.
That will be a fantastic way to keep morale high. And that is one of the greatest sources of trade that you'll have with there is no finances.
Beer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Moonshiners.
clean,
Moonshining.
It's drinkable.
Dude,
Moonshiners
we
will
could
rise
go
again,
downstairs and in an hour I could show you guys how to moonshine. You'll go home and make your own stuff.
There is a reason that in the 1790s, every man, woman, and child had an average of 6 gallons of hard liquor a year.
Just to go ahead and trade.
It's because it was safe to drink.
Yeah.
The water was not safe to drink back then.
Fair enough.
The thing that you could drink
was
hard
and it has
liquor.
Antibiotics.
Exactly.
Small amounts.
It kills off the biotics.
Yeah, there you go.
That's actually fun. It's funny that we're talking about the end of the world and stuff because one of my favorite things to do over anything is go camping. And what do you do at night when the events are done? It's dark. You have a fire going with everyone. You
look up at the stars.
You light a campfire. You all sit around together and you just talk. It's a community of conversation, stories, and a good beverage.
Yeah, that's damn right.
So, in light of that wonderful, wonderful future that we will somehow, possibly, maybe adventure in,
yes,
let's rate this goddamn beer.
Okay, sounds good. So the first one is taste, if I'm correct.
Well, we go on site, but I think we drank it all, so it's too late.
It's too late.
I didn't. We couldn't. The can looks amazing.
Hang on, how's it look, guys? How's it look?
You know what? Honestly,
that was a beer color.
That actually looked a little bit like Blue Moon,
like kind of yellowy.
Yeah,
gold.
Yeah,
okay,
golden
color. Yeah.
So, how would you say it looked on a scale from 1 to 10, gentlemen?
11.5.
There you
11.5. We'll give that a 9.
I was stuck.
72.
Yes.
Honestly, this didn't really have much of a smell to it. This smelled pretty normal, so I'm going to give this one like a 2.
Okay, fair enough.
And then taste.
Taste, I give that a good. I'll give that a 6.
A 6?
Yeah, I'll give that a 6.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
There you go.
Right, 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 7. So we're gonna put that at
my
6.5. Yeah.
Yes.
Drinkability. That my first one when it was cold. Oh my god, that was the most refreshing thing I've had.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna give this a 9.
As for those who don't know, this is a very hot studio right now. We're all kind of and I'm in the corner.
Yes.
I'm in the corner. I'm not getting any of the fan. I'm
getting all the fan.
And I'm in the leather fan either.
I'm so sorry, guys.
So the only one here is Bryant. He's the only one getting the fan right now.
I'm in a leather chair too.
I'm like still hot, but I feel content.
I'm gonna say,
hey, I didn't set the fan. Christian
Damn
did.
it, Bryant. What is wrong with you? I don't care what Christian did. What's wrong with you?
Why are you enjoying it so much?
No, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna give this one a 7 for drinkability. That was a good drink.
Yes,
I was gonna give it an 8. So
yeah, I'll give it a 9. I really enjoyed that.
Round that at an 8. Burpability. I burped a few times. Didn't notice it.
I'll give that a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay, so a 3. Uh-oh.
There's an alarm going on.
That's the alarm. We're running out of time.
We're running out of time. That's the clock, folks.
On average, we're looking at about... it's simple. We're looking at about a 5, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good beer.
It was a good beer.
It was a very good beer.
So, 21st Amendment Brewery. Heller High Watermelon. Got a 5.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Well,
to the last
there's
drip.
still spittle in there, so it's not empty.
To the delicious backwash that's in this can.
I didn't actually have any beer. So
oh my god, you didn't need to cup the balls, dude.
Oh my.
All right, everyone. Well, I think that's going to kind of wrap it up for the day. But be it whether or not we are hacked, whether the money goes away or the solar flare winds us up, don't worry, because Chimi will be there standing.
Yes, and you can always find us on iTunes, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio.com, or just go on Facebook. Check us out.
You know what?
Twitter.
Just Google us. We're everywhere.
Just Google us.
You Google us, you cannot not find us.
Yes, and where can we find you, Professor Elliot?
You Google Professor Elliot. You will find it. That's ELLIOT.
Oh, my.
Yes. ProfessorElliot.com is my main website.
And you can find the shared adventures between us, which we'll talk about in the next podcast.
It's true.
We had some shared adventures. We'll talk about the next podcast.
Rub.
Oh, you didn't rub the wooden bowl. I've been rubbing this thing all night.
Rub.
But, actually follow us both on Instagram, and you'll hear about the wonderful stories. We had an adventure this weekend that was definitely worth hearing about.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And at the end of the world, Bryant and I will definitely run Chimi on a ham radio. So
yes, we'll go old fashioned. Just go and start telling stories about the War of the Worlds.
We'll be like good old 3 Dog in Fallout 3. It's like, hello, audience.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I hope so. I can only hope.
All right, everyone. Well, as always, keep on listening, and may the awesomeness be with you. This is Bryant.
This is Christian.
This is Professor Elliot.
Bye.
Peace.